everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. Today's matchup features one team who likes to get it done through the air. The Saints are #1 in total pass yards, going up against the Jaguars, who will have to be at their best to slow them down. With that, it's time to hook up with our commentators in the booth. So we turn it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
First opened back in 1975. Mercedes-Benz Superdome in downtown New Orleans. Today, we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the New Orleans Saints. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Saints team as they interplay. They come in after tasting defeat for the first time in about a month as their loss snapped a 4-game winning streak. A loss last time out, but they've been playing better than 500 ball the last couple months. 5 wins in their last 8 games. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. That's fielded in the end zone. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. So here are the Jaguars now with a long field ahead. And leading him out, their veteran quarterback. They'll come out in the pistol. On the ground, this is T.J. Yeldon. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. And, Charles, despite this list of key inactives that we see here, they've obviously still been pretty successful.
Give everyone credit for this one because, to me, when that happens, key guys are out, the next man steps up and plays well. But that starts with the organization itself, all the way through. No excuses for guys being out. Finding guys who are capable backups who can step up and play when they need them. And we've seen the results of that. This team knows how to work through things.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4.
Here we go!
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
They tried to run the counter, just that the defense wasn't fooled.
And when they're not fooled, you see the end result. Because what you're doing there, you mentioned the counter. You're using your offensive linemen sometimes to pull or move to influence the defensive.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. They bring the safety on the blitz, and he busts through to drop him for an 8-yard loss. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
Well, he bounced up after taking a sack and took a shot downfield. I think a lot of us thought maybe he'd run draw in that situation instead. Tried to get all back in one play.
Yeah, 3rd and long. Thought he needed the deep pass. Couldn't connect it.
Maybe he was hoping for a penalty downfield to give him the yardage they needed.
Taken from just outside the 30.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Charles, I know it's hard when live bullets are flying, but you cannot keep your hand up around the face mask area.
It is absolutely inexcusable nowadays. We talk about target areas all the time. You have to aim lower so that your hand doesn't get involved in the face mask.
Come on, let's go.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Sets up the screen to Gordon. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set him back for second down.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage. When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
It's brought in here by Willie Snead. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. They'll run. It's Miller. And some space here. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24.
Offense.
So holding by the offense, and maybe now got to shift up what you want to do on the playbook.
Yeah, definitely. Change what you're doing in the playbook, but boy, the advantage shifts to the guys on defense, doesn't it? Longer yardage situations, they often become bolder.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. So the folks here in the stands this afternoon, they're happy about that one. Their guys get the early advantage after the opening drive field goal.
And they should be happy. Their guys look good getting down the field, and that's got to give them hope that good things are in store here today.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Now look at the starting unit, and here's to you, Mr. Robinson.
Oh, I like that one. Allen Robinson, I love coming out of Penn State. Everyone kept telling me he's not fast enough, and I kept pointing to the film and saying, yes, but he catches everything. He's definitely a threat.
Offense coming up, needing 2 yards on 3rd down. It's a 4-receiver look, all to the left side. They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first.
Holding. Offense.
So oftentimes you see defensive holding. Here it's offensive holding for the flag. The gun. They'll look to throw. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
That was not a completion that results in a highlight video. But at the same time, if you have those kind of completions all game long, eventually one of them might turn into a highlight.
He'll drop to throw, and the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. And now a look at the Saints starting defense.
Derek Morgan came into the league as your traditional hand-in-the-ground defensive end. He's made the transition to outside linebacker, and he's done it quite well.
New Orleans adding some depth to the secondary. They've got 6 DBs out there now for third. They'll set up a throw, and he'll be hit from behind and taken down. Jarrell Casey in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
And wow, fortunately he was able to get it back, but it's left his guys in a bit of a hole here. They're backed up deep to start this drive.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now.
That's someone who's pretty happy right there. That's the defense coordinator. Body after body getting to him before he can get started.
Second down, 9 yards to go.
Come on, let's go.
They'll run. This is Melvin Gordon. And a nice pickup as this one gets him to the 10-yard line. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
So just a lone field goal in this first quarter of play. 3-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
This presentation of the NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Snickers. You're off your game when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. They'll face a 3rd down conversion attempt here, 3rd and 3. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. So they brought in an extra defensive back here, so probably not expecting a run on 3rd and 3.
A good call.
They'll try and run it. Here's Gordon. And he will have the first down as he's up to his 17-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground.
Let's go.
Now Hundley. Caught right side, it's Snead. The 40. The 20. 10. 5. Touchdown, New Orleans. Willie Snead. 83 yards. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. And Charles, I had an offensive coordinator tell me one time that they designed every play to score. I don't know how true that is, but he had to run a long way after that catch. Heck of a play.
I think that when he was telling you that, he was designing run after catch in every play. I mean, that's the only way to put it in there, and that's what we got on that one. Nice catch, an even better run for big yardage.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
They'll start out on the ground. It's T.J. Yeldon. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Really tough drive, but that run help salvage something there, because now there's something positive that came out of it. They got to see good blocking, good push by the offensive line, wide receivers trying to get involved, a good run by the back. And now maybe it'll be a catalyst for them to look at going forward, watching it on tape. Maybe they can keep incorporating that type of a run into their offense.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
And I know it's hard in live action, but you've got to keep your hands away from the face. That's a 15-yard penalty.
You work on it all the time, making sure your target area is lower and trying to keep your hands away from the face mask so you don't get the big penalty.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Oh, he's got a little daylight. 11 yards on the pickup, and that'll be good for a Jacksonville first down. To throw now on first down. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested, and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
On second down, here's Yeldon. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a first and goal. They've been practicing goal line offense all week. Let's see if they're able to capitalize here. The former Gamecock here. This is Mike Davis. And a little bit of space there. Takes it inside the 5 to the 3. A pickup of 4 on first down. It'll be second and goal.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. This defense has held on so far. Now from the 3, this is third and goal. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up fourth. Now a field goal try coming up here for the Jags. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So this offensive unit, they've now had 3 drives, and they only have 3 points to show for it.
Payoff is the key for everything. How many offenses we talk to that say we have to finish drives? Thus far, this team hasn't finished it quite the way they wanted to.
Here's the Jags defense now as they head back out there. Last drive, touchdown surrendered. Here, see if they can stop them.
It's always a constant battle of letting the last series go, good or bad, but especially bad. Give up a touchdown. Okay, forget the finger pointing, forget the blame. Go back out and play the defense you know you're capable of and help your team out.
And probably look to the leaders as always.
As always. They're going to be the ones going to grab some people and say, all right, let's do this thing. Love the call by the offensive coordinator, recognizing the situation very well, calling for the play-action pass and completing it.
They run it here with Gordon. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Kind of running there at your own risk against that 4-3 and that big line, aren't you?
Yeah, and I don't really run it against a good 4-3 team that well because I've got to get those guys on the move a little bit. If you're a static running team, meaning you just want to run it in the middle, you may have some trouble against good defensive tackles. That's what we just saw on that play. No gain.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
Let's go! 51! 51!
This is Gordon as they go to him again. And he's going to get this one down to the 45. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with third and about 6 yards to go.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is third down. Throwing, Hundley. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
And they pick up a first down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean that's a fullback playing in that spot.
Well, times have changed, right? The old-school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of...
Touchdown, New Orleans! Willie Snead with his 13th touchdown of the year and second of the game. And the Saints add on to their lead. Now, he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. Fielded about a yard deep. And a less than desirable return as he's out of bounds at the 15-yard line. Heading back out there now, the Saints defense. And a big reason they've got the lead here in the first half. Some of these hits we're going to see here.
Almost like they're a group of superheroes, right? Something out of a comic book. Boom, pow, biff. They are really playing well and making things happen on their side of the ball.
Taking me back to my childhood a bit.
There you go. You had a collection, didn't you?
I did.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. It's a gain of 7, and that'll make it 3rd and 1. So still in search of the first down after that last completion.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he's brought down after a good gain. So he makes the grab and the chains move forward.
Nice job by the offensive line giving them time to complete that first down pass.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to New Orleans after this. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Larry Ridley in Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report. They'll look to throw here on first down. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And he comes back with one complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Incomplete. T.J. Yeldon, the one he was looking for. And it's 3rd down. Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw again. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision. and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
His pass caught at the 4. A gain of 6 there on first. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout.
Hey, tight end right. Watch tight end. Let's go. What? 9.
Back to throw again. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. I can't imagine we'd see another throw here. 3rd and goal from the 1.
Let's go.
3rd and goal. Can the offense punch it in here from the 1? And he is going to lose yardage here.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Got the hand caught up in the grill of the face mask. 15-yard penalty.
So tough for a defender. You're trying so hard to make a play, and the way that these offensive guys can move around, sometimes your hand gets into the wrong place.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Their big-bodied receiver. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Jaguars have cut it back within a score.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. And it's up through the goalposts. It's 17-10. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence, does a great deal for your team, gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
This is Gordon on the dump-off. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Pass interference. Defense.
So a pass interference here, and this is obviously a call we see all the time, but for the defender, it's becoming almost impossible to play defense in some of these situations.
You're trying to play through the receiver to the football. If there's any contact at all before he gets there, those officials will throw the flag and call interference.
And incomplete, he dropped it. Maybe a rookie mistake there, 2nd down. They'll come out in the pistol. Now Hundley. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Again, we'll see the pistol here. Throwing, Hundley. caught right side. It's Snead. That goes for a gain of 31.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
Second down now after the incompletion. Another pistol look here. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. And Frank's kick is good. And they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10. So they get the 3, increase their lead to close out the half.
Excellent way to end a drive. Go into the locker room with a little bit of extra momentum after adding 3 to their total.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. Short kick. One of the up middle take it now. And solid field position here to start as they get it out to the 40-yard line.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to the EA Halftime Report. Let's take a look back at the first half. The Saints are looking good right now as they will just try to keep up the good work in the second half. The Jaguars are vulnerable right now, coming off a rough game a week ago, and still not really finding a way to get back on track. All right, let's roll the highlights. Saints with the ball early in the second. Hundley's got the completion here, and this 4-play drive goes for a touchdown, which takes the lead to 10. Midway through the second quarter, Hundley would find his mark in coverage, and it ends up working for a touchdown. That puts them up by 2 touchdowns. Jaguars with the ball late in the half. The connection will be made from the gun, and he'll end up picking up 33 yards on the play. Still a little time left on the clock. Pass into the end zone here, and now they get in for the touchdown. Jaguars down by 7. Staying late in the half. Quick pass is complete, and the pass and catch will end up going for 31 yards. But they end up coming away with just 3 on the drive. So that's it for us. We'll go back now to New Orleans for the start of the second half.
All right, Larry, these two teams back out there as we get set and ready for this second half. This is taken at the 3. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And now we get a look at the captain of this offense heading back out there now. He's showing off that arm, showing it off very well. They've got the lead. Don't forget, though, about the protection he's had. The protection's been good.
And I'll guarantee you he hasn't forgotten about it at all, because that's keeping him clean in the pocket, allowing him to step into throws and make those deep passes come true. I mean, it's just been beautiful for him to do. But guess what? In the huddle, on the sidelines, guaranteed he's thanking those big guys up front for keeping him safe. I have a feeling he made him buy dinner.
Indeed, entertaining to relive some of those deep balls. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Time running out here on the play clock. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Sets up the screen to Gordon. No gain on the screen there at second down. So nothing there on the screen that time.
That means all that great acting they tried on offense went for naught, didn't it? Because you have to try and influence them. Make them think that you're doing something else. Make them think that they can get to the passer by letting them by and then setting up the screen and getting downfield. Didn't happen at all. Give a lot of credit to the defense for not tumbling to that one.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Touchdown, New Orleans. Brandon Cooks, his first touchdown on the year. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. Good pass, clean catch, and a house call there on the fly route.
And not that much room to operate. So that tells you about his acceleration. We always talk about being able to go from 0 to 60 real fast. It took him less time than that to get the top speed and complete that play.
Now Franks for the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. That's fielded in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
Come on, let's go.
They'll set up a throw. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
He'll look to throw, finding time. A dump off for Davis. And the spin looked pretty, but more for style points as the real estate evaporated quickly there. Certainly not the numbers that he was hoping for. Rough last week, rough again here.
And I've got to tell you, I'm surprised because I'm used to guys bouncing back from tough performances, but right now it appears he's in a little bit of a rut. So whoever the guy is on the team that he trusts the most, whether it's the coordinator, the quarterback's coach, one of his friends.
Pep talk?
Yeah, it's pep talk time. It's time to get into his head a little bit and try and see if he can get him straightened out. Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talked about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
They keep it with Yeldon on first down. He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Yeldon, the lone running back. He'll get the football here. And he'll take this one down to the 36. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
They'll try to run for it with Yeldon. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember.
Those really long field goals, when they are made, they are things of beauty. But there is a danger to getting them started, isn't there?
Yeah, with that low drive, you've got to really keep it low to the ground, don't you, to get that distance.
Yeah, hard to just pop it up in the air because otherwise it's not going to get there. So he's got to drive it low in order to have the distance, and that usually puts it in jeopardy, gives him a chance to block it, and everyone knows it on the other side. That's when you get your best jumpers on the other side of the field to try and get up and get it.
Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. They have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
Trying to get it to Willie Snead there, and it'll bring up third down.
Well, after watching him ring the bell that many times and put the ball in the end zone throwing it, you had to figure they had to bring some type of pressure. They had to change things up on defense.
And able to get to him, put him on the ground, so maybe just something to throw him off a little bit.
Yeah, that had to feel a lot better for the defensive guys. They've been getting carved up in this one. To finally knock him on the ground and force an incompletion, that's got to be a sigh of relief. Well, that was pretty nice to watch if you like a defense's perspective, because they understood where the first down line was as much as the offensive guys did. Did not give up any more ground, and when the ball was thrown, reacted really well and swatted it away. One of the advantages of zone defense, you never take your eyes off the quarterback, and when he reacts, you do exactly the same and go get the ball.
Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Now T.J. Yeldon. Well, I don't know if he made it out of the end zone. No signal. Yes, it's a safety. And that was a little tough to watch. You kept thinking he might be able to get away. Then you watched him just keep going further and further backward.
Just fall down. Just fall down at some point. Instead of getting driven back into your own end zone, that play's definitely not salvageable. You end up costing your team points.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. He was trying to hit Melvin Gordon there. That'll bring up second down.
Well, partner, so much for the mismatch. How about the guy at the second level, that big linebacker, able to run with the receiver and make a play on the football?
Here we go. 190.
Now Gordon. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
I think the good offensive coordinators in the league now are looking at the fullback position and finding the right guys to hide in that spot and increase their passing game, as we just saw there. How about the run after catch? Racked him.
Well, yeah, whether it's a true fullback, a tight end you put in the fullback spot, you know they're going to be tough to bring down if you can get them the football in the passing game. Touchdown, New Orleans! Willie Snead, his third touchdown of the game, number 14 on the year. And the Saints add on to their lead.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. Now Hundley, and this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. Oh, boy, rubbing a little salt in the wound there, going for 2 up this big.
You know, there's one time when I played, Brandon, and played against a team that was just absolutely pile driving us. And they ended up going for 2 late in the game. And I asked one of the guys, why'd you do that? He said, because we wanted to win by more. That feels like that type of situation.
Wow. Well, could also result in a melee later, though. T.J. Yeldon working his way back out onto the field. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on the other side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments, and you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half, it gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
Now back to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Three quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now here live in New Orleans. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. They'll look to throw now on first down. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's third down.
Third and 11, 5 in the secondary now.
Nickel look. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on fourth down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And this is incomplete. Gus Bradley's decision to go for it does not work out. And this defense will take over right at midfield. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. It doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, second down. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long, with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart, and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
Let's go!
This is Gordon. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with third and still 7 yards to go.
But I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
throwing, Hundley. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And that one good for 16 yards and a first. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. One man in the backfield is Gordon. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
They'll run with a fullback. This is line. And now Miller hit, and he fumbles. And the Jags grab it. The big man, get the oxygen tank ready. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20.
You and I have been around teams, and they all have goals for games, don't they? And every team we've ever talked to says what?
No turnover.
Don't turn the ball over. 0. And they were that close to getting it done. Won't cost them today, but they'll hate that when they're watching the game tape.
This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal.
Well, as the play call comes in on 3rd down, you have to think about 4-down territory here. Down a few touchdowns, they need points, and they need big points.
They'll try and run for it with Yeldon. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Good first step there defensively, but they're still knocking on the doorstep, so maybe another run here?
I think so. And one of my favorite coaches used to say, son, if you can darn near lay down near the end zone and get in, give me my best power running play.
And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. It'll wind up going as a sack and a loss of 2. And now the task gets more difficult here on 3rd and goal.
Partner, the Mike linebacker, the middle linebacker has so many different responsibilities. How excited do you think he was to get home with that blitz?
Yeah, he wants a sack. He got it. They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Jags take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. He has his 2 scores, but still a sizable deficit in this game.
Do you have him in fantasy football this week?
Unfortunately, no.
It's too bad, right? That would have been big points, but he is really trying to rally his team as best he can. Things are not going as well the rest of the way for them. That's why they're down with this deficit. He might need to score a couple of more times to give them a chance.
And the Saints hands team able to rein this one in. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
Now Gordon on 1st down. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
And the dreaded face mask penalty, that's going to cost him 15 yards.
And it's such a dangerous play. Body going one way, and then your head gets yanked back the other. 15 yards is the right call.
Here's Gordon. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop him here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line. Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line.
On 3rd and 1, it seems natural to just turn and hand it to the biggest guy you have in the backfield. But usually, he's not the primary runner. So for the defense, they're often keying on the running back because he's the guy who gets the ball more often, and the fullback is the blocker. When he ends up carrying the football, that's a heck of a tendency breaker, and now you're just trying to jump on his back and hold on.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Come on, let's go.
Now it's 10th carry for Melvin Gordon. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more.
Holding offense.
So there you go, holding by the offense, and that'll push him back.
Changes everything now as you try and figure out what your playbook has for you. Longer yardage situations, tougher to execute and pick up first downs.
One man on the backfield is Gordon. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one. Maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
4 down. Check. Let's go. 190. 190. I got it.
They run with a fullback, Miller. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
All right, let's put the check mark on the defensive side of the ledger there. Really nice tackle by the man in the middle. But why was he able to get that done? Because he has 4 down linemen in front of him, 2 tackles, 2 ends. And what they often try to do is create what we call a funnel. Right to the man in the middle linebacker, who often leads his team in tackles.
And Frank's kick is good. And that lead will move from 20 up now to 23. So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the 4th.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. And trotting back out there now, this Saints defense. They are holding serve here at home. The fans were into this one. They did what they needed to do.
And right now, I'm just cupping my hand to my ear and listening to the approval that they're getting from the home crowd right now.
That's actually true, by the way. He was physically cupping his hand right here.
A job well done. Exactly what you want to accomplish, though. Let's face it, we talk to every coach in the league. We want to take care of our home games, establish home field superiority, win at home, and they're going to get that done. Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and now we're
trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Kenny Vaccaro. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. While he gets attended to, we'll step aside. Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Saints, they continue to make their case for the playoffs as they move to 9-3. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, this loss cost them in the playoff chase as they fall back to 7-5 on the year. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Carolina Panthers. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Saints are winners here as we say so long from New Orleans.